Hello and welcome back to Scarlet Nexus. And good early morning. At least it's early for me. Well, damn. That happens sometimes. You just get up and it's a few hours early, but you feel wide awake. So what's the point in carrying on sleeping? I did watch the third episode, and it didn't actually carry on too much further from the first two, luckily enough. The anime does deviate a little bit from the story of the game. But then again, the game is being played out in two different perspectives. What anime is being played out pretty much with both perspectives, or at least it doesn't really follow a single character like the game does. It's a different format, of course. So there's that. The anime right now, episode 3, is gotten past. It's just at the point after the Naomi fight, and yeah, I don't know, it just flew by. It's strange. Sometimes almost nothing can happen, or seemingly nothing can happen in 20 minutes. Pretty much all that happened all that happened in that episode was that the fight started. It ended quickly without... There wasn't even a real fight. Like, everyone was just looking at the transformed Naomi. Kasane was getting in the way and defending the monster, the other Naomi. And meanwhile, Yurito was also holding Naomi back, and it wasn't a real defeat the other kind of battle like it was in the game. Didn't look like anyone was getting injured, anyone was taking any kind of damage. It was just Yurito slashing away at Naomi, and every now and then Kasane trying to defend Naomi, and it was over in like a minute in the anime. Just have to take any kind of time. The OSF, some kind of masked OSF people showed up. They just teleported in. They put they put their hands up towards Naomi, and then she kind of digitized, and then they all teleported away. So they poofed in and they poofed out with Naomi in tow. So that was odd. And then Fubuki showed up and said, by the way, you didn't see this happen. She's actually dead. She died in combat. This is the official story, so deal with it. And then everyone who was there, Gemma was there. Who was all there? Right, actually, pretty much the team we've got here was present there, except for Teleporty Kid. This guy, he wasn't there. What's his face was also there. Yuto's friend, Nagi, he was there too. Yeah, it's odd. Of course, they took Nagi away to go to the hospital straight afterwards as well. And then he comes back not acting like himself. That's the same. Yeah, and then they go back to the OSF facility. there's a little bit of them, you know, not really feeling okay. They have to lie to everyone and tell everyone that Naomi's dead. The scenes, we don't get anything about this safe house so far in the anime. Doesn't show anything about that. They're all still in the OSF location. The other team is with them. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's definitely slightly different from the game. But yeah, it's gonna be tricky to keep watching the show and not get spoiled on the anime, because I did see parts where Kasane is having talks with Fubuki, and they're going on about that side, the side plot where they don't trust the government and they're wanting to. I haven't seen much concrete steps being taken, but you do see them talking about, oh, you can't trust these people. We've got to do something about it, stuff like that. So they're kind of taking, yeah, they're looking at the game from both perspectives at the same time. So wherein, if you're playing through the game, you're playing as Yuto and Kasane in the next playthrough, well, you'll probably find out information that you don't know about yet when you're playing as Kasane, and it should elucidate some vagaries and mysteries in the game so far. While if you're watching the anime, you're going to get that all simultaneously, so you're going to go through just chronologically, and while yeah, it's meant to be that you're going to, I'm guessing you're going through the same timeline twice, or through two different perspectives, and in a show, you're going to get both perspectives in one sitting, probably, and it's going to make more sense. And yeah, it's going to be, I don't see how they can really pull it off, but I'm only at episode 3, but so far the show hasn't, it's been okay. It hasn't been mind-blowing, amazingly awesome, and of course a lot of teleporting around from location to location, not much, not much walking from place to place, not much zoomed out, complete overviews of areas and connections, and I don't know, it's I don't know, maybe it'll be better in the future. Maybe it'll change. That's something I tend to find annoying in anime, is when the characters move from one inside location to another inside location, and it's all through jump cuts. There's no movement from one place to another place, and it's kind of not the greatest for world building, because you do see shows in the same kind of setting, like you've got a town and a school. Usually there's so much shows that play off in a town and a school, and I mean, this is kind of the same, but instead of a school you've got the OSF facility, and I mean, there's a bunch of kids running around here, so might as well, it could be like a school. Hey, laptop just crashed for no reason. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't help world building. I much prefer when, if there is movement from scene to scene, you actually see the characters show part of the world and move through the world, so you know how everything is connected. And some shows are really decent at showing you how the world is connected, and some shows are really terrible at it. But it's so, I don't know why people don't realize that it's just nice to know these things. Like, it's nice to know what the map of the world the characters inhabit looks like, so you can just understand the setting, you know? There's quite a lot of shows where people move from place to place and then they just seem to teleport. It's like, oh, we're at this place, this character's home right now, and then they show them walking off and they walk off into nothingness, and then there's a cut and then they're all of a sudden at school, and then, well, what the hell, what does the town look like, how far is your house? Just wonder, in any show you're watching which features a school, where is the main character's house in relation to the school? It's amazing how often you don't even know such a simple fact, because there's never a point to either zoom out and show the entire town. It's just I don't know, it's just, in my opinion, the world building does add quite a lot to the story, at least for setting, and just a sense of knowing the layout of the world. It's just something nice to see, you know? Like, you have a show, character's house, the school, you zoom out, you just put an arrow here, here's the character's house, there's the school, this is that place, this is that place. It's just like if you look at the Persona game, for instance, you're teleporting around in that too, like Persona 4, I'm thinking about. You're teleporting around, but you have like a selection location where you're moving to. So this is that street, this is this character's house, this is the river, there's the school. You've got a map and you can kind of see, oh, this is where this place is, that's where that is, this is where that, and so that's, yeah, I don't know, I do appreciate world building, and I do find it annoying when there's none of it, absolutely none. Well, so I did watch episode 3 and I saw one hint, it would seem. Like, I don't even know the clue for what to look out for, but I did pay attention while I was watching the episode for any written text, and it's surprising how they actually aren't ambiguous about it. They're really just, there usually is absolutely no written text anywhere to be seen, like legible, which is quite impressive, because there's quite a lot of like facilities and indoor locations where you'd think there'd be, you know, signposts or some things written in the background somewhere. But no, there's not really anything. So when you do see any kind of text or written things, that's probably the answer of the riddle you're looking for. And so I found one thing that was written. Let's have a look, see. Laptop's started back up again. So yeah, in a stairway on the wall there was written 5150, just a number. Don't know what it means, but it's possibly the answer to the next riddle. We'll have to see. So I've got some Bond episodes. Team Bond level 1. Why does that keep showing on the screen? And I've decided to not get angry at the game. It's not the game's fault if I don't understand it, and it's also not the game's fault if I'm bad at it. So I'm gonna stop getting angry at it. Team Bond level up 1. Curious. I do like the idea that we're gonna have 2 L1 attacks soon. If Tsugume's bond level's gonna go up by 1 level. I wonder if giving people bond items will help their bond level go up. Of course it will, right? Okay. Favorite items. Squash racket. Hero figure volume 1. Plug-in parallelization program V. Right. Expand functionality. Can give this to anyone. Magazine rumor. Oh. So I can give the squash racket to anyone, but the characters with the hearts probably would appreciate it the most. Wow. So I can give 2 items to Luca. How crazy is that? Okay. The new character. For some reason I have 2 items to give to you. I'm surprised Seren and Spring Pharmaceuticals created such a large facility together. Right. I've got a present for you. What is this? Hero action figure. These action figures are made in collaboration with the People's Protectors, the OSF and the NDF. Right. The People's Protectors. Who are they? The NDF is the National Defense Force. OSF is the Other Suppression Force. The NDF soldier is bravely holding a weapon. An OSF member stands prepared. The production was strictly supervised by both organizations and apparently took 10 years to complete. Wow, okay. How? How does making an action figure take 10 years to complete? Wow. Incompetence? Here you go.
This is very nice.
No, it's not. I've been interested in this series for a while. They are quite well done, are they not? I would love to have them. Yeah, that's one of those things, isn't it? That's something I've never really been into at all. Yeah, that's something people do, isn't it? Buying action figures and figures of shows and stuff like that. Like having a Geralt statue standing around somewhere, or a Neon Genesis angel lying around somewhere, or some scantily clad anime waifu statue standing around somewhere. Like, do they really take so much work and effort that it would take 10 years to create one? No way. How could anything take 10 years? That's crazy. It wouldn't. This can't be true. I refuse to believe it. Yeah. It's strange. Strange world sometimes. I've been watching It's a Gundam for a while, and a month ago, or maybe 2 months ago, I got an advertisement for Gunpla, the Gundam creation kits that he's always often on about, because that's his main hobby, making those Gundam creation kits, you know, putting them together and then painting them, kind of like Games Workshop, but for Gundams. And yeah, it's just I always heard him talk about it, and then now I get recommended it for some reason. I get advertised it on YouTube. I just found it curious, like, yeah, it's just so such a niche thing. Makes you wonder how much people are really into that stuff. And if there's a big market for those things. I'm surprised Sarah and Spring Pharmaceuticals created such a large facility. Where do you heard you say that? Squash Rocket. Here you go. Be happy.
This is very nice.
This will be a full body workout, and I would like to have a match with everyone. Oh, do not worry, I will not teleport.
I never expected you to be so odd, Yuito.
Huh? Really? I thought I was pretty normal.
What is normal in the OSF is not what most people call normal. It's very intriguing.
Hey. Bond leveled up. Nice. So what do we get here? Guardian vision? During essay you can mid-air teleport. Okay. And use square to teleport to you next to an enemy with a ranged, in range and attack. Also, when you are attacked, there is a chance for a vision of Luca to appear and block the attack, negating damage. Right, so you have to be level 2 just for mid-air teleportation.
I think I'm starting to understand you a little better.
Really? I'm so happy to hear you say that.
Oh, look at you, training diligently in the training room. Oh, that's cool. I don't think I've seen anyone in here ever. It's so odd though, the characters just teleporting around like that. Like you'll see someone sitting on the couch and then you walk around and then all of a sudden they're sitting in the kitchen. Well, in fairness, I did have those items with me for a while, and I hadn't given them to anyone. So I could have had that mid-air teleport for the last few sections of the game, which would have come in handy. Against all those flying enemies. Because that's the issue, just like the team... The team they've settled me up with doesn't feel like the best strong arms skills. What am I saying? Strong arms, struggle arms. Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah, they don't seem like the best skills to have for the enemies that we're going up against. We're going up against range, tricksters, of course. What's her face? This girl's skill is useful to have against those. Of course, you know, if you go up against them and you don't have her on your team, then it just probably sucks terribly. But yeah, we go up against so much flying enemies and ranged enemies, and what do we have? We've got a few seconds of invulnerability, which at times hasn't even worked completely. We've got teleport, which did not work in air at that level 1 Bond. Her ability is proven the most useful so far. It's a damage increase and fire element, and I've been using as often as I can. Right. So these two of these three people I'm looking at here have got situational abilities. The teleport, just to get through items, hasn't been that useful in combat. Seeing hidden enemies, if I was better at dodging attacks, that would be really good, but I'm not that good at it. And then the invulnerability, It says something, I guess. And her ability, of course. The most useful ability. I searched the facility with clairvoyance, but I couldn't find Naomi. She's probably here somewhere, though. Alright.
Oh, Yuito. I would like to talk to you.
Hmm? What's up, Tsugumi?
I think I finally found that flower. Look at this.
Oh,
It's called a silent snowmelt. It's a rare flower that only blooms at high altitudes. Is this the one you saw?
yeah, this is the one. That's incredible. I can't believe you found it with such little info.
This flower's natural environment is different from Suo's climate, so it took some time to find.
What does that mean?
It blooms on cold, high mountains, so the temperature in your garden is too high. Growing it would be difficult.
Oh, I guess that's why they always wilted.
No, it's amazing that the flowers bloomed at all. I would like to try growing them myself, but
Is there a problem? Oh, you did say it was a rare flower.
yes, you can't normally get seeds or sprouts. There isn't any data about its natural habitat either. There isn't any information about how to collect them yourself, or where to look. I'm stuck.
Okay. Let's see. If they were in my garden, that means they probably grow somewhere in New Himuka.
I want to search for this flower.
Honestly, I felt bad about leaving all the searching to you, so I looked into it a little myself. The gardener who planted this flower already passed away, so I haven't got a single clue where he got it.
That's sad. I'm sure he was good at what he did.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time and care to raise it in our garden. And I figured out why I remembered this flower in the first place. After my mom died, I was really sad for a very long time. The old gardener, he knew she liked those flowers, so he planted them for me.
I see.
So I'm glad I know their name at least. Thank you.
But you haven't seen the actual flowers yet. It must be frustrating.
Still, that's good enough for me. Thanks to your thorough research, I can look at pictures of the flower whenever I want.
You want to see the real thing, don't you? I'll check some more.
Huh? Oh, well, I'd like to see it if I can, but you don't have to go out of your way.
I promised I would find it, so I don't want to give up.
Okay. Thanks, Tsugumi. And I'll help in any way I can.
Okay.
She was really excited. She can be pretty stubborn sometimes. I didn't know that about her. Although, the fact that she let me see her like that means she's starting to open up. That makes me kind of happy.
Are there any problems?
I think things are fine right now.
If you need anything, just tell me. I want to help you. I may not be very useful, but I'm here for you.
Hey, bond level up. Great. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. So, read attack. Is that what they call it? After a perfect dodge, use R2 to perform a read attack to damage the enemy and knock them prone. What's this? Got Baki Goods set, Volume 1, as a present from Tsugumi.
I understand you a little more.
I think I've gotten to know you better too. We're the same.
Well, I'm sure you're not the same. What do I mean to say? We're the same. We're identical. We are identical. Curious. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think Yuto's got a relatively bland personality. I think the main characters of the game are quite personality-less for some reason. Actually, I don't know. A lot of the characters are very. I mean, in the cutscenes, I think you get to see better what they're like, but in just other in-game conversations, he's even very subdued. It is a curious thing, though. I think you see that in real life too. How you get to know one little thing about someone, and that becomes their identity. You know, like if you figure out a hobby about someone's hobby, then it's like, wow, they're the guy that does this, right? I think that happens quite often. Because, yeah. Everyone, I think most people have a feeling of wanting to understand other people, or wanting to connect with other people. And, yeah, it's easier to connect with people and talk with people if you understand somewhat what they're about. And being able to connect this person with an action that they're taking. Like you can see this person doing this thing, and then this becomes their identity because this is the thing that you can picture them doing. It's like this guy playing squash, for instance. I can imagine him in the squash room, teleporting around, going absolutely wild with you know, his sports and stuff. And yeah, I mean, someone tells you something about them, this is my hobby, this is what I like doing, and then you start making a image of this person doing something other than what you're used to seeing them doing. And what you're used to seeing them doing is probably just hanging out in the workspace and working together with you, or you're at school and then you're studying together. But yeah, your regular day-to-day interaction with people is often work or study related. So it's you can see them in a serious business setting. So it always adds some extra color to find out people's hobbies, and then you can picture them enjoying their hobbies, and yeah, make a different mental image of the people. And I think the most popular people in society are people who are extremely open and outgoing, and they add a lot of color to their personality by just telling a lot of stories about the things that they get up to. And so anyone listening can sketch a very complete mental image about all of the actions these people are undertaking. And so you've got a very well constructed view of this person's being, right? Anyway, where am I going? What am I doing? You got nothing new to say. Can I give you something? Plug-in parallelization program? Nope. Still holding off on that. I've only found the one so far. It just seems rare. I should seriously think about who should I give this to, because it's kind of a big deal. You have a Bond episode. Is there something else I wanted to check out? Here is something I want to check quickly in skills. Okay. Here it is. Shell break. While SAS is active, hitting with a read attack allows you to break shells with one hit. Also, when you are attacked, there is a chance for a vision of Tsugumi to appear and block the attack, negating damage. I think the read attack is after a perfect dodge. So you dodge an attack, and then, yeah, shell break. Read attack, psychokinesis read attack. Okay, that makes sense now. Shell break. It's a little bit confusing because on the left it tells you one thing, and on the right it often adds information that's not immediately visible on the left. So here we've got shell break and guardian vision, but what it should be is read attack and guardian vision, and then on the right it should elaborate on the read attack as having shell break functionality, right? But here it says shell break and guardian vision. Well, how do you shell break? By doing a read attack. Okay, so I don't know, maybe read attack is just a basic ability that you have from the very start of the game. It's just like you dodge and then the next attack is just automatically, just always a read attack. Although, what is this? Clairvoyance and read attack. Shell break and guardian vision. Maybe I'm just being stupid. Maybe it's a bit too early and I haven't had enough coffee. While the SAS is active, you can discern the position of invisible enemies and see areas where visibility is poor. A perfect dodge will also be easier to execute. After a successful perfect dodge, perform a read attack with square to deal heavy damage to the enemy and knock them down. Psychokinesis read attack. R2 to perform, yeah, damage to the enemy, knock them prone. The thing is, this is all good and well, but the fact that you have to be in clairvoyance really confuses things, right? Because you activate her skill clairvoyance and then you go into the combat, and because you're so actively, you know, dodging and attacking and busy with combat, you're not paying attention to your skills because you're in the middle of a melee interaction. So it's very easy to not see the skill run out, and then you're expecting to do a strong counterattack after you do finally perfect dodge someone, and not noticing that your skill has just run out because it's possibly taken you that long to get a proper dodge or a counterattack. It's just one of those it's just the problem with that. I really appreciate her character. She's one of the fun people to have around. However, as much as I'd like to keep her on my team, her ability just, yeah, doesn't suit my playstyle very well. It's like a parry playstyle, isn't it? It's avoidance and it's skill-based stuff. When I'm ever playing Dark Souls, for instance, I'm always of the opinion, well, why would you just stand there and fish for a parry, sitting there trying to get a parry on the enemy? Well, you could just as easily just smash them to pieces with a giant two-handed sword. Much quicker. That's just the thing, it's all about, well, effectiveness in combat. And you can sit there and wait for the enemy to meander. They're constantly hanging around you, meandering, deciding whether or not they should attack you. They finally come out and attack you. You parry and counterattack. They die, probably overkill damage. And just as easily with let's say a caster build, you just shoot a magic arrow at them and they explode. You can even do it from a long distance. You could even snipe them, possibly. If you're playing Dark Souls 2, you could snipe them with a magic attack, or I think in Dark Souls 1 even you could have magic attack sniping. Yeah, it's just the energy you have to put into the action, right? And the effectiveness of it. Also, not every Dark Souls game is as easy to parry. I think Dark Souls 1 is my favorite game to try and parry enemies. Seems most... yeah, the amount of moves the enemies have is much less than the other Dark Souls games. And it seems like pretty much you can parry on reaction of the enemy attack in many cases. So you can actually just see an enemy attacking, you can judge when it's going to hit you, and the moment of impact is pretty much the moment you're parrying. While in other Souls games you have to time your parry, like, I don't know, differently, like it has to be early, you have to really see the enemy's attack coming and then you press the parry button like a split second or two or a second before the enemy's attack impacts you, and you just need more forethought to parry. And at the same time the enemy has a much increased moveset because the games get complexer over time, and it's just one of those things, you know. And you've got quite a few real heavy humanoid enemies in Dark Souls 1 that you could justify, well, it's useful to parry this guy. Why? Well, because they're super heavy, so you're not going to take them out in a single heavy, let's say, greatsword attack. Let's say you're going up against the Black Knights, the random Black Knights they find around, or going up against the swamp ogres. You're not going to stagger them easily. So you run into them, let's say you're running around with, yeah, like you're going up against a Black Knight, greatsword versus Black Knight, you're not going to have such a great time. Because they are pretty swift for being such large enemies. They don't stagger easily, so you're going to hit them, and you're probably going to trade, and you don't want to trade with them because they do a lot of damage. Sword and board, or even just a dagger and finesse playstyle of knowing when to parry. You know, I wouldn't try to go against them without a shield, but who knows? Maybe pro Dark Souls players could do it. But yeah, definitely I'd see a more beneficial playstyle against the Black Knights as sword and board. Simply learning when to parry their attacks and parrying them. And even after you've riposted them, as they're getting up, you'll probably get a few free hits off on them, and then you'll be ready to block the next attack and possibly even parry the next attack versus going up against them with a greatsword. And it's just a thing, I'm usually a strength Dark Souls player with the heavy weapons, the great swords and the great hammers. So I know what it's like to go up against them with those weapons, and I do see for once that the parry playstyle is superior in that instance. By going up against, let's say, just regular hollows, you're standing there, they're meandering around you, waiting to finally attack, and then they'll often hit you with the weirdest things. They'll like do their strangely timed jump attack, or they'll start doing that, like their really long charged up frontal attack, and then all of a sudden their attack will come out super lightning fast, and then they'll do their 10 hit flurry, you know, and then you'll get hit by it anyway. So just excuse me. So you're just standing there waiting intently, and then they very slowly lift up their arm and then strike the moment they reach the apex, like really fast. So it's just yeah, not the easiest thing to time a parry on, to say the least. And if you do get hit, you just get hit by a whole bunch of a whole flurry of attacks, and it probably won't even do much damage. It'll just annoy you and waste your time. And it's just unjustifiable that you spend all that time trying to parry them, while if you sneeze at them, they'll explode, right? They've got so little HP, there's no point in trying to get that parry off for the massive riposte damage that you're going to get on them. It's just one of those things. And yeah, the parries in games is always difficult to find a proper balance and a reason to justify using. Code Vein, for instance, which is probably much more relevant to this game because it's by the same developer. Parries in that game are difficult to pull off. Very risky as well, because if you time it right, okay, massive damage, the enemy's probably destroyed, and you recover some magic uses. If you time it wrong, well, you're just going to get punched in the face, and you're just going to take a ton of damage, probably going to have to use a heal. So, yeah, right, so you're balancing out. You're going on a long exploration in Anor Londo 2.0, and that's where I think I did most of my parrying in Code Vein. The white-looking zone on top of the walls. I call it Anor Londo 2.0 because it looks like Anor Londo. And those enemies, you see them at a distance, and then they get ready to do a stabbing animation. They disappear, and then all of a sudden they appear right next to you, and they do their attack. And I just find that was very... it was very satisfying to learn the parry timing on that particular attack, because it's extremely readable. It's well telegraphed, and learning the parry timing on that really helps in taking out those enemies. And also, because the zone is so large, it also helps on your staying in the fight and not having to go back to the missile and resetting your spell uses, because you can use the parry attack, strong attack drain to get your spell casts back. And I think it's the best way to recover your spell casts or at least it's the strongest spellcast recovery, getting parries. I think backstabs is the second strongest, and just your charged up drain attack is the third strongest. But still, when you miss the parry, it definitely hurts. And in Code Vein, if you're playing co-op, if you're a caster and you're playing co-op, you're kind of in a weird situation because you're not going to be able to recover properly your magic if you're not able to do backstabs, parries, or charge attacks. But the thing is, if you've got a co-op partner who is full-on melee, they're going to recover a lot of magic casting points by just smashing the enemy with a big sword. And yeah, because you can't reliably detect that the enemy's gonna do their attack on you or your co-op partner, it's more difficult to get parries because of the weird movement of the enemies. They don't know if they're moving to your helper. It's also more tricky to get a backstab at times. Although, you know, with proper communication, you can say, "Hey, I need magic casts. Hold the defense for a minute," and then you can go and grab the backstab. But then still, if your co-partner's running away, the enemy's running towards them, getting a backstab on a running away enemy might also be a bit tricky. So it's just, it's one of those weird things where playing solo is possibly more beneficial, because then at least you'll know that the enemy, you can kind of bait the enemy's attacks, you can bide your time, dodge, wait for the perfect attack to parry, and get the parry off. Well, otherwise, your co-op partner may have long dispatched the enemy by the time you prepare a parry and riposte magic drain. So, anyway, why am I on this long tangent about the parry playstyle and the timing-based, reaction-based, skill-based? It's far easier to just use a strong ability and hit the enemy in the face real hard. Okay, Luca, tell me your secrets.
How have you been feeling lately, Yuito?
I'm feeling great. Thanks for asking.
Of course. Make sure to rest when you need it. Part of being OSF is taking care of your body. See you around.
Are you going to work out now?
Yes, my daily routine. Would you like to join me? Light exercise is good for maintaining your health.
You're right. Okay, I'll work out with you. Maybe you can make a training program for me.
I would be happy to. I promise to make the program that best suits your body type and fighting style.
Great, thanks. Ugh, I'm beat. I'm so thirsty. Do you want some water, Luca?
No, you should drink it. I have this.
What is that?
A special protein drink that I concocted. It's best to drink it within 45 minutes of exercising.
I've never had one. Is it good?
I made it strawberry flavored, so it's easy to drink. The intake of protein is essential for building muscle.
Not only do you work out, you even worry about your nutrition. That's amazing.
Protein is well known to people who like exercise. It's nothing to be surprised about.
It's not just that. The program you just went through was pretty hard. You're really stoic about it. Why do you want to train so much?
Well, because I'm small. When compared to those around me, I'm always at a strength disadvantage. So I want to do all I can to lessen that disadvantage.
A strength disadvantage? But why does that matter? There's almost no one as good as you in a real fight. You're a Septentrion, and you have top-class strength when it comes to a fight with powers.
I do not want to rely solely on my power.
Why not? You have an amazing one. I don't see the problem in relying on it.
Let me put it another way. Power is something you are born with. It cannot easily be changed. However, muscles are different. The harder you work, the stronger they become. Isn't that amazing?
Huh. I guess it does seem pretty amazing, maybe.
Yes, you're beginning to understand. Also, my brother is always ahead of me. No matter how much praise I get, I can never equal him. That makes me want to work hard.
I see. I definitely understand that.
Thank you for saying so. Since you are here, I'll tell you my secret.
What is it?
Wait just a moment.
This is the backpack you always wear. Whoa! That's heavy. What's in this?
I've made adjustments to my daily routine to train my muscles. I have weights inside my clothes as well.
You call them adjustments, but it sounds like torture to me. These extreme methods might be the secret to his strength. Will you put some weights in my clothes too?
Of course. They are custom made to be removable. So I will put this here, and there you are.
Great. Now I'll try to walk. Whoa! Oh, my body is swaying just from moving a little.
It's not very heavy, but it will be difficult until you are used to using your core. You can borrow them if you like. Now, I'll do another set.
You can keep going?
Yes, I still have a lot left to do. You can take a rest if you are tired.
That's a Septentrion for you. I can't believe he always wears weights. But there's something kind of desperate about the way he's exercising. I feel like he's pushing himself too hard. Can he really handle it?
Well, damn. I gotta say, I do appreciate the Bond episodes and the side character stories. They are quite endearing. I do appreciate that philosophy as well. That idea of having talent in one area, but trying to work away at reducing the areas in which you're weaker in. Like, not just relying overly on some talent you have, but working on other areas. Like you know, if like you're strong, but you're not clever, try and learn stuff and get the book smarts. If you're smart, try working out and be strong as well as smart. You know, it's like not just completely relying on one talent, but trying to improve on other aspects. It's just a pretty cool idea and a good philosophy. And this character, there's a couple of anime characters he reminds me of. I would say Kenichi, the world's mightiest disciple, a little bit. His philosophy of not relying on his powers and wanting to get physical strength because he feels weak reminds me completely 100% Mob Psycho. That's like the character what comes to mind when it comes to not being physically strong and also not wanting to completely 100% rely on his mental abilities. Right, this character's got psychic powers, but he joins the Body Improvement Club because he identifies this area as a weakness and he just wants to improve on that and puts a lot of effort into it, a lot of work into it. Yeah, this guy is definitely the mob character. Just fits it to a T. And it's true because who knows, maybe at some point in his life he's going to come across a moment where his psychic powers are not going to be the solution to the problem, or his powers will let him down and you'll have to solve it some other way. And then if he has completely relied on that his entire life, then it's not going to end well, is it? Also reminds me a little bit of a certain magical index and Naruto, a little bit. My Hero Academia. Right. The main character in all of those shows has some kind of thing that they start off weaker than the people around them, and they want to improve themselves in various ways, and also not rely on innate power, inborn power. Yeah, it is a curious concept, and yeah, pretty cool. I like it. Still wondering what that Team Bond level 1 is hanging out on the top of the screen there. Confusing. Well, we got brain messages. What do you guys got to say? It is strange. Look at Travers. It is strange. I'm able to talk with you about things that I cannot with anyone else. My brother, he is that type of person, but he was always on my side when we were children. What about Chief Kaito? My brother can be pretty strict, but he always cared about me. The fact they are family makes this situation even more confusing. I hope that we can speak again. Oh, we must continue our weight training as well. Curious. That's weird. Why would Luca Travers think that Yuto's relationship with his brother is so strange when just look at him? He's finding himself on the opposing side of this little argument, or this little fraction happening within the OSF forces, with Karen being the leader of the breakaway platoon. Curious that he can't see that the situation is actually kind of I don't know, maybe it's not completely the same, but they do have a yeah, not very friendly, not very relaxed brotherly relationship going on here. Yuto's brother is more of a, acting like a parent or a guardian to him, very strict. And Luca Travers' brother just looks like he's a end boss, bad guy. Tsugumi. Like I told you before, plants like to be close to people. Really? Do they? Do they care about that? I think the silent snowmelt wants to meet you too, Yuto. That's why I want to find it. It's your destiny to be a plant. This is the plant. It is you. I hope so. But don't work too hard. I'm just happy you're thinking of me. You are so kind. I want someone as kind as you to be happy. I'll find it, so let me work as hard as I need to. That's one of those things. Some people just have that effect on other people. They make other people want to do things for them, or tell things to them. Luca Travers again. Will you help me go over some information? Sorry for messaging so late. Can you help me go over some information? It's about Kasane. I understand Kasane's motives and where she is. If she was angry at New Himika for turning Naomi into another, it makes sense that she would join Seiran. I understand what you're trying to say, Luca. I understand that Seiran gave... Oh my god. Okay. I understand that Seiran gave the order to assassinate my father. But why give the order to Kasane, right? I don't understand that either. Yes, well done, Yuto. She graduated top of her class, but she is a rookie. I do not believe she has the skills of an assassin. If I were to give someone such an order, it would not be Kasane. I apologize, I was speculating too much. It appears I have mostly organized things in my head. Thank you very much. Yes, curious. Well, it is a mystery. I think the key to this mystery is figuring out who showed up and shot that sniper bullet and hit Naomi and turning her into the other, while he was actually aiming for Kasane. So this is a curious thing. I feel like that is key to this whole mystery. And they don't talk about that very much. They just say... what did they say? New Himoka. Kasane is angry at the New Himoka for turning Naomi into another. New Himoka is basically the name for this current government. And I don't know if it's extremely regional or if it's just like countrywide, this system of government. It's difficult to tell exactly how the story goes on, because it's weird, eh? Because the game itself is confined within a rather tight boundary. But there's obviously a world outside and a larger world. But the thing is, because of this confined boundary, you almost feel like the governance is within this the confines, and it's just strange. Like, it's a feeling I got from the very first of starting to play the game. It's like, we've got some kind of governance going on here, but they're really just leading this town and the areas nearby this town. That's what it feels like. Because you've got, like, yeah, I'm guessing this is in Japan, and then you've got the entire country, and we're only looking at a small portion of the country. And then of course we've got the places outside of Japan, but then it's just one of those. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's one of those things. Just like, I don't know, anime series often play out just in a city, you know. Bleach, for instance, does anywhere besides Karakura Town exist in this universe? You would think not. You'd think Karakura Town is the key to life on all Earth. It's just one of those weird... It's one of those weird world-building kind of issues. When you think about it, it's just so bizarre. Look at, like, 99% of anime, or, like, maybe that's exaggerating, a high percentage of anime. Just look how much shows play out entirely inside of one town or city. And it's just crazy to think about, because it's often world-changing events but it's all confined within an extremely tiny world that is any kind of world building going on, and it's just surreal. That aspect of anime is just always surreal to me. How the outside world might as well not exist, and you often wonder, what does this world look like in its entirety, and can it be compared to real life? Are there like large, giant, powerful nations like America that have any kind of influence or say in the matter? And yeah, it's just curious, because then you got a fair few shows who break the mold and actually show you the entire world and show you the forces outside of this, the confines of this tiny space in which a lot of shows base themselves completely. And I'm thinking of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a good example of a show which takes a world which is very much mirrored to our own world. Like they'll visit places, like they'll visit Japan, they'll visit Italy, the Middle East, they'll visit Africa, Egypt, and you'll see, have they used America as a setting? Well, you'll see American-like things, and you'll see cliches, but I don't think they've used America as a setting yet. They've used England, places in Europe. Yeah, they pretty much take the world as it is in reality, and they have that featuring in that the anime. So it's pretty much yeah, like plays out in the world as we know it. But yeah, it's so curious. Like New Himuka, the government might as well be ruling over 3 cities for all we know, or 2 cities. However many cities you see in this game is however far their rule reaches. It's just it's a flaw in storytelling and world building in anime in general, and it's a huge trope that the world that the events play out in is extremely confined, and that it's a huge mystery what pretty much 90% of the world, or every part of the outside of this small confined area thinks, and which actions they're taking in relation to the events happening, often world-changing events happening in the show. And it's just bizarre. It's extremely bizarre and weird to even think about, because it's it's a massive oversight in many cases. It's just an extreme oversight that in a lot of cases, in a lot of anime, they don't even go into it. But I guess it would complicate things, wouldn't it? Because it would get into the realm of politics as well, and diplomacy, and I guess that's like a whole different aspect of the story that they may not want to talk about. I don't know. It's curious, very curious. Anyway, that's probably why One Piece is my favorite anime of all time. It's because they don't neglect completely the entire world in the structure of world building. They include it. They show you this is the shape of the entire world, and the show is going to pretty much play out on a worldwide scale, and we're going to see everything, we're going to talk about everything, and extremely creative show, amazing, the best. Let's see, Kyoka Eaton. I want to apologize to you again for fighting you at Mizuhagawa? Could you come to Misubi's again? I'm waiting for your reply. Cool. Arashi Spring. I developed a new battle support program and I really want you to test it. I'll be waiting at Misubi's. A lot of stuff happening at Misubi's, huh? I think I've tried this before. Going to Misubi's and then just, I don't know, trying to start these events looking for these characters. It's pointless. Because technically these events play out at Musubi's, but yeah. I think you have to go through a loading screen no matter what. I'll test it out again. I'm not exactly sure what happened last time. I'm just gonna go to Musubi's. I doubt I will see those characters there though. Alright.
We're always together. Does that mean you rely on me?
In your case, actually, yes. Oh, hello, a quest. A wild animal researcher. Others prefer to consume human brains, but if no people are present, they will prey on the brains of wild animals. It's reprehensible. Others are hindered by progress of wild animal research. That violent other is especially destructive to the environment. Would you go make sure those others are taken care of? I want to protect the environment as much as I can. Alrighty then. I hope you'll accept my request. Environmentalism. Nah, we'll find it at some point, maybe, who knows.
Hey, you should use my power sometimes.
I use it regularly. It's a crutch. OSF soldier's older sister. My brother was wounded fighting others that use fire. I'll never forgive them. I want to get revenge myself, but I'm not OSF, so I'm helpless. Please get revenge for my brother. Will you destroy those others with fire? Sure. Thank you very much. I know my brother will be happy. Fire with fire. Alright. Well, now that we're here, might as well take tip number 3, and I think I've got the solution, and if it's not right, then I don't know what it is. Have you cracked the code from the scene? Please help me be. I would like to report a password. The third top secret file from episode 3, which I watched this morning. The third top secret file, password please. Actually, no. Oops. Is there no hints? I'd like to hear the explanation. Okay. Report a password. Curious. Wow. For the first password, you actually were able to ask a hint. I think you could, for the second password, also ask a hint, and it will tell you, yeah. Like, maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe I imagined it. But I thought you were able to ask for a hint for the first mystery. Cause yeah, the hint that she gave you was it's in a corridor or something, like it's in a hallway, and it was a good hint. So I just find it weird that we're not able to ask for more hints. Anyway, if it's not this, then I don't know what it is. I wrote down the only legible thing that I was able to see in episode 3. 5150. Done. Hey, it's true, it's right. Phenomenal. That's absolutely positively correct. The file opened. Your reward is here too. The password seems like a code in and of itself. I wonder what these numbers could mean. Yeah, you and me both. Reward obtained. Poster vision, Gamma. Nice. Character compendium updated. Gamma Garrison information has been updated. Here you go. It isn't much, but I want to show my thanks. I appreciate you helping Mimi with this. Reward obtained. Special mission pay bonus. ×1. Nice. Okay, let's see what we got. Visuals. Gamma. Prepare yourself. New and improved Gamma. Poster vision, Gamma. Boom. Everyone's gonna be running around as a poster. Beautiful. Okay. And... Alright, so we got these still. Character, Gamma Garrison. Info. Top secret info. The Straight-Laced Soldiers Twilight Calico. Article by Mimi. As an OSF veteran knows for getting results, as an OSF veteran known for getting results, Gamma Garrison doesn't garner salacious rumors. His long history of service and daily life demonstrate an almost eerie dedication to duty. But is there another Gamma lurking beneath the surface? This reporter tried tracking him on his day off and found him clamoring around a back alley after a runaway cat. Is that his idea of kicking back after a tough day with the OSF? But, as if sensing the stalwart soldier's bloody years of battle, all the other cats fled his presence as well. Gamma's the old man of his team, but spending his nights scrambling after alley cats doesn't exactly match the image of a dignified mentor. Curious. What's it with him and cats, I wonder? Curious. Well, we had the Bond episode with the cat cafe and the digital cats. So it was one of those things where he was able to stroke those cats with his left arm, which was hit by sclerokinesis, which does something. It's like a rock hardening effect. It's kind of like that one character from the Fantastic Four that turns into rock. I'm guessing. So I don't know, does it affect other people? Is he not allowed to touch people with his left hand because it'll hit them with sclerokinesis and it'll turn into a rock or I don't know, petrify or something? Curious. But the thing is, the digital cat cafe, the reason he's able to touch those cats is that they're not real, right? That they're just like a hologram or something, or whatever technology goes into that. But him going after alley cats to stroke them is curious, because I thought the not being able to touch any living creature, yeah, it's just that you don't, like, you're not wanting to harm any living creature with your left arm, isn't that the case? Or is it just people you don't care about cats? I don't know, it's weird. It's a curious thing. It doesn't, there's a element to that doesn't make sense to me immediately. Maybe I'm just stupid. I'm just probably stupid. What have we got here? Brain messages. Okay. So what are we gonna do first? I'll start with Kyoko. Reply. We had to fight in that situation, so I'm not sure how I feel about you apologizing. But if it will make you feel better, Kyoka, I'll see you. I'm going to Misubi's now. I would apologize for fighting you at Mizuhugawa. It's just one of these people who are way too cordial with each other after constantly fighting. It's just so weird. It's like they're constantly running into each other and fighting, and then acting like friends afterwards. So bizarre.
Thank you for coming. I'm sorry about what happened in Mizuhagawa.
You don't have to apologize. We both had our reasons, so no hard feelings.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I really wanted to go easy on you. You were a lot stronger than I anticipated, so I couldn't afford to hold back. Did you get hurt?
You don't need to worry so much. I wasn't hurt, and even if I was, I can give myself first aid.
Wow, that's impressive.
I've always studied all sorts of things, so I could do anything on my own.
I see. I do remember you having a good head on your shoulders ever since you were little.
Since I was little? How do you know what I was like when I was little?
Oh, I was just imagining it. I'm sure that's what you must have been like.
Why is she so panicked all of a sudden? I suppose I shouldn't doubt her since she's just worried about me. Anyway, I'm totally fine and I can take care of myself. Really, it's okay.
All right. I'm sorry I'm such a worrier. I'd just like you to make one last promise to me. Stay away from Togetsu.
Togetsu? Why should I promise that?
I can't tell you why, but something dangerous might happen to you if you go there.
I can't make a promise without knowing why.
You have a point. I'm so upset that I can't do anything about it.
I don't know what you're hiding or what you're trying to say to me, but I can tell that you're worried, so thanks for looking out for me.
Be careful, Yuito.
You too.
Three out of 5. Turned into boxes. You'll have to see it. Yeah, I'll try not to kill you too hard next time we fight. So weird. I have no idea what they're on about. No. Right. Sorry about before. I know I shouldn't be asking in this situation, but can I ask one thing? Have you been... Yes? Okay, that's your one thing. Now stop. Have you been able to really smile from the heart lately? Oh my god. Smile from the heart? I'm not sure. I smile naturally when I'm around everyone, I think. Yeah, sorry, that was a weird question. You have such a cute smile. I was just feeling nostalgic. what I was talking about in my last message was your smile when you joined the OSF. I hope the day comes when you can smile like that again. Talk to you later. I don't know. It's like, well, yeah, but we're kind of dealing with some serious shit right now. Can you, like, get with the program? Like, it's like you're in the war, you're in the trenches, and then it's like, hey man, you used to smile a lot more. I mean, your feet are rotting away, you're half dead, you're eating rotten bread, you could die any day, but oh man, I miss seeing you smile, you know? Ah, you got such you got such a nice smile. Ah, I remember, I feel nostalgic about that one day when you joined the force and you had such a nice smile. It's just like, wow, okay. Hello? We're kind of in the middle of some serious shit here. Like, what the hell? That's surreal. Surreal. And it's just like one moment they're uncovering the darkest secrets of human experimentation by the government in secret lab, and then the other moment, let's go to the restaurant and have a chat with people we've been fighting, and it's just so, I don't know. Well, I appreciate that it doesn't have to be constant drama. It's a bit surreal to have this this dual thing going on here. At one moment you've got the craziest stuff is happening, and at another moment it's just completely tranquil and serene, and nothing's happening. Nothing's really. It's just odd, very odd, especially because the fight is with the system and the government and everything. If you compare it with, let's say, you look at Devil May Cry, for instance, you'll have moments where Dante is just chilling at you know, is his office just called Devil May Cry? Anyway, at the office, he's just chilling, he's hanging out there, he's having pizza, doing whatever, so you've got moments of downtime, but then you'll have some crazy world-shaking events happening, but then it's always framed in, this is a mission. Someone has come to me with a request, here's a paranormal situation, it's a quest, it's a mission, I'm going away from this safe location and I'm going out into the danger. But the thing is, the danger here is the government is up to shenanigans, and it's not like we're in a location that's removed from the danger. We're under the danger. We're in the place where the stuff is going down, right? So far as I can tell. Is Musabi's in the new Himuka area? I'm sure it is. I can check. Look at a world map. Suo. Musabi's. Okay. Damn it. It's in a spot on the map that I'm not sure where it is. It doesn't show exactly where it is. But so we've got Suo City Ryujin Ward, Suo City Main Street, OSF training facility. I do believe this is the heart of the government's is there. And it looks like Musabi's possibly is also in that city area. Old OSF hospital. Supernatural Life Research Facility. Huh. All the way over there, huh? Kunad Highway. Abandoned Subway Suo Line 9. Mizuhagawa District. Kikuchiba. OSF Hospital. Right. So Kikuchiba and Mizuhagawa districts are close to each other. But Suo City, Ryujin Ward Hospital. I don't know, man. Like, this says district, so you'd think Suo City, Ryujin Ward. You'd think that this is just one large city, and that Suo City Ryujin Ward is just that location within the city, and then Kikuchiba is I don't know. I think I'm blanking on some important lore bits. But yeah, as you can see, the map stretches out in other directions. The world is larger than just this area, and we're not really seeing the scope of it. Can't really zoom out, look at the full map. Don't even know if this is in Japan, or if it's just in a complete fictional world. The names are Japanese, so... But then it's a Japanese game, so... hard to say, really. Keep it up. Right. I detected another data transfer from the server, so here's another message. Thanks for not slacking off. I wouldn't expect any less from someone handpicked by Musubi. At first glance, this batch of data might not appear to be linked at all to the Syndicate. Trust me though, it's vital. I'm grateful for your help, really grateful, so please get the remaining data transferred. And keep it safe, okay? Because it looks like I'm not gonna make it out of this. If they get me, it won't matter if I give them all the data. I'll be done for. They're inhuman. All I want is to make sure this data stays safe and that the world learns the truth. They have to know about the evil syndicate that stole the ones I love from me. My only fear is that my dear Musubi, who's helped me so much, might be in danger. If things go awry, please protect her. You're strong, aren't you? Actually, I've seen you before at Musubi's. I can't go on. Long messages are risky. Just keep on transferring the remaining data. I'll be in touch. Okay. That's a lot of words and a very little meaning. All I know is she's in danger, and who's the bad guys here? What did she mention? The Syndicate? Right. So the Syndicate is after her. She's transferring important data. The thing is, the character bios I'm unlocking seems more like gossips and rumors about people, which is not really, I don't know, the Syndicate is after her. Seems like a joke to me. Yeah, anyway, I'm not planning on doing a long stream today. I should probably opened with that. But I think after this Bond episode, I'm gonna call it a stream for today. I was a bit off yesterday. out of sorts. I have to get back into the flow of things. So I shouldn't go on too much today. Arashi Spring. I developed a new battle support program, and I really want you to test it. I'll be waiting at Musavi's. I was surprised by your message, considering the situation. I guess we're ignoring everything that's going on. That's what I'm going to do, so I hope you will too. I guess I don't need to say that. I don't like having awkward talks, so you do the same. Wow, she doesn't reply to any of that? That would be awkward. Yeah, it's just like he says. It's like the game, it's like the writers know. Like, look at this. I was surprised by your message, considering the situation. I guess we're ignoring everything that's going on. That one statement there pretty much sums up half of the interactions between the characters in the different camps here. It doesn't make sense. No, it's like imagine that, right? A war breaks out, but a war breaks out between two groups of people who are friends. They've got all of these people. I guess you could see it as like a company, like employees within a company. They all have each other's contact info. They're all on Facebook with each other, or they're all on WhatsApp or something. They all have each other's contact info, and all of a sudden the company breaks up, and half of the company goes and makes another company, starts up something, becomes a competitor with this one company. But they're still all constantly sharing messages with each other, you know, and it's just, talk about an awkward situation. You're technically your enemies. You could be sharing company secrets. You could be sharing sensitive information. You could be, yeah, you could be spoiling projects that the company's working on. Yeah, it's just, it's one of those things. And I mean, that's not even as extreme an example, right? Oh, the event just starts on its own. All right then. Did I press a button by accident?
So, you said you wanted to test this battle support program?
Yeah, I want you to try it out.
Is it safe?
That's what the test is for. We don't have much time. Let's get started. I'm installing it now. Okay, it's installed. Try using your power.
Power? Okay. I can lift up this cup. What's going on? I'm seeing noise.
Calm down. It'll go back to normal once you stop consciously using your power.
Oh, you're right. That really surprised me.
Nice. It was a success.
What is this program?
When it detects power usage, it affects your visual senses to discourage its use. I call it the forced break program.
What? Why did you make a pointless program like that?
It's not pointless. If you apply various conditions to the program, you'll be able to restrict overworking. It's even more effective with an organization like the OSF, where powers are necessary. Nobody can be working 24/7. In other words, I considerately made this program so people can use it as an excuse to rest.
I still think it was pretty reckless to stick it in my head.
Anyway, you can't fight now, which means you have to rest. Enjoy your free time.
Well, I am pretty tired.
Why don't you order something? Nothing like eating your favorite food into a food coma.
Okay then. I guess I'll take a break. Although, I've got tons of problems I should be dealing with. I wish Nagi were here.
What's with all the sighing? Am I that boring?
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean anything like that. There's just so much happening that I'm having a hard time relaxing. I don't know how to deal with it.
It's easy. Just do whatever it feels like your body wants to. You know, like this. Just lean back. Oh, that's so relaxing. You try.
Wow, that's quite the position. I wish I saw you like this before I enlisted.
What's that supposed to mean?
Before I enlisted, I only knew you through the press. You were so friendly and lively.
That's when I'm on the clock. This is me off the clock. If you don't know when to switch between the two, you're going to break down. I make sure to stay off the clock as long as I can so I don't break. I think you should do the same.
Thanks for your concern, but I can't just...
I see. I'm not trying to push anything on you. I apologize, but I learned a lot.
Wait, did you uninstall the program?
I'll try to tone down my advice from now on. Time to call it a day.
She does it so she doesn't break. I guess that's one way to live. Although, that program is a little overkill.
Dude, did she just install a program in my mind that can completely turn off my powers whenever she wants to? She's on the enemy team, don't you know? Okay, so next time we fight, what's to stop her from turning off my powers? Oh my god. Ah. Man, it's so bizarre, and at points during the dialogue even mentions it. He said, what did he say? Something like, "Oh, I've got so much to worry about. Maybe I shouldn't be here relaxing," or something like that. It's so, yeah. And then, damn, yeah, it's like, hey, I've got a combat program. Yeah, I'm gonna install this program. Try using your powers. You can't. Haha, I've turned off your powers. Yeah, I'm not gonna use this later. Next time we fight or something? Nah, no problem. Did you want to install this? Install what? What are you talking about? I don't remember what you're talking about. Nah. I'm gonna change the subject. Haha. So, my god. So bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Oh, I've said it enough. I'm not gonna try not to beat a dead horse here, but yeah, it continues being bizarre that these two factions, these two camps who are basically at war with one another for irrational reasons, I might add, are just being so friendly with each other on their downtime. So it's like, okay, now we're in the between missions resting phase. Okay, now we're just gonna go and chat with the same people who we were fighting with a minute ago. And yeah, just I do worry that the conflict and the two camps, just being two camps, is completely arbitrary. I'm worried that it's just 100% arbitrary because we just want the game system, the game flow, the layout of the game has to be like this, or we want it to be like this. And I really hope that I'm just not smart enough to figure it out, and that it's gonna really do some amazing, clever things, and it's gonna be mind-blowing, revelations. But it seems so like, I don't know, it's just odd. Just like, I don't know, sometimes you get this self-aware game moments, right? Like in Hyperdimension Neptunia. These games, they like doing large and ridiculous, seemingly arbitrary time skips. And in the third game, they even a reference and a joke that they do a self-aware joke about just having another really long time skip. And it's one of those things where you're thinking, are the developers and the writers of the game just laughing at the fan base and insulting the intelligence of the fan base here by basically doubling down on the silly thing that they did in their games? Yeah, it's just like, okay, so it's in Hyperdimension, it is like not the first game, so it's the third game in the series, and then they so that means they would have had time to have read and received feedback on their games. And it's just like, it's one of those things, when you create a form of art or a media, you should always be open to criticism and always assume good faith on the part of the people who are giving you feedback on it, and not just go in opposition to the people who are giving you feedback, because then you'll find a situation where the creatives behind a franchise will be just belligerent to the fan base, and you'll have two camps. You'll have the creatives behind the series, and you'll have the fan base, and the creatives will turn against the fan base. It's just not a good system. It should never be that way. You never turn against the fan base. You should always just assume, well, a positive, yeah, you should always be positive towards the feedback you're getting, even if it's negative feedback. You should always have a positive attitude towards it, because it's just the impression you're giving on, yeah, it's like, if it's a public response, then everyone's going to see the response, and everyone's going to be influenced by what your reaction is to the feedback you're getting. And if it's a very salty and defensive reaction, it just comes across as such. And yeah, it's just, yeah, it gives off a really bad impression on anyone who sees it, because it does look like it's the creatives putting up walls and just not being open to criticism because, I don't know, it's too harsh, or they seemingly can't deal with it. Yeah, I don't know, just conjures all kinds of thoughts about the situation. But yeah, I mean, there was a tongue-in-cheek comment made in the third Hyperdimension Neptunia game about the time skips. That this is seemingly arbitrary time skips, and they say something like, yeah, it's been 10 years, you'd think we would have got something done in this time. And then I'm thinking, yeah, I would have thought that, yeah, but apparently, you're just gonna sit there and joke about it. It's one of those things. But for sure, yeah. Sometimes you see plot elements that make no sense, and then if you have the characters themselves even remarking on it, yeah, like there's got to be a huge twist or a huge rectification of the situation coming up in furthering in the story to justify it, because otherwise it turns into a meme and a joke, if yeah, it's just one of those, you don't want it to become a parody, right? You want to take the story seriously. And we're sitting there at Musabi's, and Yuto's like, don't we have something more important to do? Shouldn't we be worrying about stuff that's going on? And Arashi's sitting there joking and turning my powers off. And yeah, it's bizarre, yeah, it's really bizarre. And surreal. It's just one of those things. I'm almost expecting like a huge, like some crazy just a twist, some mind-blowing twist that's gonna put a whole new perspective on like the characters coming together at Musabi's, like something like crazy, yeah, some crazy twists, like I don't know. This is all Musabi's. we're living in the Matrix. None of it's real, or it was all a dream, or you know, something over the top, you know, bombastic. Because it's just, I don't know. I can't even imagine what the game would have to do to justify these characters coming together. I'm curious to see further on, but I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm weary and worried about how the story's going to move forward. I got a feeling that I'm not going to feel satisfied with some of these plot points, that they're not going to be properly resolved and tied up. I feel like the things that I've noticed are plot holes, or they are legit criticisms that are just not going to get filled in and to get solved moving onwards. Like the whole acting so nonchalant and blasé about all these things, and just meeting up and chatting with the enemy, acting so relaxed, like nothing's happening. I'd say, sure, you can do that, but at the same time, work together, team up and collaborate. The fact that there's two camps, as I've said, it really seems just like, well, this is a video game and the developers have wanted there to be two playthroughs, two timelines. Well, no, the same timeline, but two playthroughs. And that's the only reason there's two camps, just because the game wants you to have two playthroughs with two different characters. And rationality, motivation-wise, it just doesn't make sense that these characters would stay separate like this. And that Kasane would keep, Kasane's camp would keep Yuito in the dark on certain things that they know about. Especially considering that it's not like Yuito's camp is 100% in the dark about everything, like everything that's going on. They already know Naomi was taken away, that she didn't die. They already found the secret facility. They know there's some kind of brainwashing going on with Nagi. I think that's what it's called. They know that they can't trust the government for some reason. So it's not like Yuito's team is in the dark. They're also aware of the shenanigans that the Nuhimaka government is up to. So they're in the know. So there's no reason that Kasane should even have a separate team from Yuito at this point. They should team up. They both distrust the government. They've both got the same kind of motivations. They come together in Musabi's constantly to chat with each other as if they haven't been fighting to the death earlier. This part makes no sense, and I want it to make sense, but I've got a feeling that those plot holes will not be filled in by the end of my playthrough on both characters. It's a prediction, and we'll just have to wait and see moving forwards. And yeah, I don't know. It's not like I'm complaining too much about it, or at least I don't want to carry on complaining about it. So this might be as in-depth on that theory that I'll go, and I'll try and go no further on that, or try and not waste too much time carrying on. But all I'm gonna say is I find it bizarre, and I would like there to be a proper clarification. I'd like it to tie up neatly in the end, but I'm skeptical about it, quite skeptical. He takes no sides, he's an archivist, he's heir, no problem. So we didn't really fight anyone today, but then it's not all about fighting, I guess. Curious. Right. Well, anyway, there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot to appreciate. I appreciate the characters, I like the Bond episodes, I like the action scenes, and the game in general. There's a lot of good things about it. The running side by side with an anime is a unique feature. And yeah, the combat's complex, but strong, I'd say. If you get good at it, it can be quite great. Just yeah, at moments it can be surreal with what I'm seeing here. The two camps, I think that's just it. Two camps seems arbitrary. Hope not. We'll find out in the future. So, actually, have I read every brain message there is yet? I'll see if there's anything I haven't read yet. Okay. Oh. Arashi Spring wants to request help. Oh, there was something I noticed that I didn't mention last time. Is that all these that this game has some kind of thing with family, and that a lot of these OSF members are coming from important families. Like you've got the Sumeragis. Yuito Sumeragi, his brother being the top of the OSF, and then his father being pretty much the head of state, and his grandfather or his great-grandfather being the founder of the nation, which is kind of a big deal. Randall. Who's Randall? Naomi? Where? Kasane. Right, Kasane Randall. Her family is with Randall Industries, military contractor. It says that somewhere in here. Right, military contractor Randall Industries. So here we've got Yuto, family within the his family is leaders of all the power structures in this society. Then we've got Kasane Randall, military. Arashi Spring is with Spring Pharmaceuticals. So yeah, like coincidentally, a lot of the key organizations in this game just happen to be, well, the leaders happen to be family with the people fighting in the OSF. Just it's a curious thing. Interesting theme. Well, in any case, I think I'm gonna call it a stream for today. Not gonna outstay my welcome. And yeah, then I can't get too tired. Also, I think we've seen some curious things, and we're pretty much ready for the combats next time. Can't say exactly when next stream is gonna be. I don't think I have any more time this week, but possibly next week, maybe within 2 weeks only, I'll have time to carry on streaming the game. Yeah, playthrough is gonna take a while. Well, anyway, take care, bye bye now.